Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you with possibly the most sobering and depressing video I have ever felt the need to record in my entire YouTube career. For those of you who don't know what's going on, I last night, with a very heavy heart, made the official statement that I'm stepping away from the Command & Conquer Rivals community. I will no longer be making any form of content for C&C Rivals after this video. Now, if that's all you need to hear, that's ultimately where you can stop the video. I thank you so much for your support. I thank you so much for every single one of you who's helped make this channel become what it has become. C&C Rivals was where I cut my name, and some of you guys have been ridiculously supportive. You've been uplifting, you've helped me grow into who I am today, and you will forever have my gratitude. I understand that some of you are only subscribed to this video because you want to see future C&C Rivals content. If you do wish to unsubscribe and leave, I wholeheartedly understand, and I do expect that. That's fine. I don't expect you to stay subscribed to a channel that is actively saying, I am not going to make content that you want to see anymore. So if you are here just for C&C Rivals content, that's my big thank you to you. Thank you so much for your support. Don't expect anything further. Now, I wanted to sit down and record this video. I wanted to sit down and record this video and basically explain this decision. I know, I'm well aware, I'm putting my hands up now, that I'm going to get negative backlash from this. There are going to be people commenting down below and telling me why I'm wrong and telling me why they are happy to see me leave. That's fine. That's exactly why I'm doing this. I wanted to let my community know my reasons behind all of this, what happened, and why there will be no content going forward. So, I think this is best served by me jumping back to the beginning on all of this. So, this channel, this Captain Benzie, this whole thing started with C&C Rivals. C&C Rivals is my original community. I used to play Vainglory, I watched a lot of Scoundrels videos, I saw that he was putting forward some really great tutorial content and teaching people how to play this game. Now, I had just started playing C&C Rivals, I was thoroughly enjoying it. Excuse me. I was thoroughly enjoying it, and I was seeing all this hatred for it online. So, my idea to try and deal with the hatred was to originally start writing articles about how to play C&C Rivals, about how this game works, what I enjoyed about it, and what I thought was really cool about it. Then I decided that actually written word was cool and all, but I wanted to try my hand at making videos because that could reach more people in a more open and easy to digest format. So I started making YouTube videos, and apparently this got EA's attention. They approached me and said, hey, look, we like your stuff and would like to sign you up to the Game Changer program. Now, ultimately, that's a non-paid gig. I received no payment at all, ever, from EA on this. I want that down on record, just because EA shill. I never received any payment from EA whatsoever. In fact, the terms of the agreement were that if they did ever offer any payment, I would have to 100% announce it in the video. Go watch some of Scoundrels' EA videos. He has to announce at the beginning of them that he is sponsored for that particular video. I have never had to do that because I've never been paid. The return for me was that I would have a close access to the development team. I would have access to the debug build so that I could make videos ahead of time and have them ready to go when the unit launched. And then when the unit launched, I would be included in the launch document and in an in-game mail. Dance was really helpful and supportive for that. That's ultimately where my channel started and where it all grew from, and I get that, you know, C&C Rivals, as I said earlier, I cannot thank this community enough for that, and for the support and helping my channel become what it has now become. However, there are certain people within the community that just cannot differentiate between me saying, I don't like unit levels, but they exist because it's the only viable method of monetization. That's me shilling for EA, that's me blowing smoke up EA's arse, or to quote someone yesterday, that is me sucking EA's... yeah. I'm not going to say the actual words because I've actually been banned from the C&C Rivals subreddit, because when I put up a post there saying why I'm leaving the community, I had one of the instigators say, oh yeah, but you've never received personal attacks, to which point I listed out the 4 that I could remember off the top of my head, censored the swear words, but apparently that's still a bannable offence because having the word male rooster, I suppose, chicken, but with the O starred out, that's still a swear word, or the particularly grotesque word used for female genitalia with the U starred out, that's not good enough. I should be banned from that. I'm not allowed to defend myself. So the decline kind of began with people not being able to differentiate me saying, I don't agree with this, but I understand why it is, and me saying, no, it's amazing, it's got to be this way because everything's perfect and fantastic. I've disagreed with the developers on many things. I've had big internal arguments with some of the old developers about things that I wholeheartedly disagreed with. Some of the things I disagreed with did end up getting changed. Some of the things I disagreed with didn't get changed. As a point in note, I absolutely detested the inclusion of emotes and explojis. I gave Clash Royale as an example of this. You can watch videos of people just spamming the same emote over and over and over and over and over again, and it's triggering, it's tilting. I was against those, but at the same time, I saw plenty of other people in the community going, I'm really excited for these emojis, they're going to be so cool. So I sit there and go, you know what? It's not for me, but if other people like it, cool. I see why it's being included. That's when things started. Now, this video that I put out yesterday is ultimately the crux on all of this, and that video was meant to be a discussion about how, yes, there are problems with C&C Rivals, like the Shade and the Razorback. I agree that there are problems with those units. I think there are other problems that are worth addressing, and I'm going to take a sidebar here to say that when I talk about balance, I talk about balance across the whole spectrum. So when I'm saying that I think it's ridiculous that flame troopers and shockwave troopers sprint faster than rifles and militants, I'm saying that because everything from Masters and below has seen militants removed from the game. I get that in Tiberium League, things are slightly different. Things like the Razorback has just removed flame troopers and shockwave troopers from the game because it's a 40 cost unit that just dies. I get that. But again, that's people taking what I'm saying out of context. My channel, from the very start, I have never claimed to be a top-level player. Never have I ever claimed to be a top-level player. I hit the top 100 once shortly after the game first launched. I've never got there again. That's not been the point of my channel or my content. My content has always been getting new players or middling players and pushing them towards the top tier. Once they're in the top tier, that's when you go to the likes of Bite Crush or Blade or whatever and you start watching their streams and seeing how they play and how they do things. Otherwise, why would I do a video on Rockworms where I talk about here's a deck you can use Rockworms in? Why would I cover units that just don't get used? Because I want to showcase this for newer players, for lower level players, for people who looked at the Rockworm and went, this is a really cool unit, I want to try and play with this. Because they can. Because I can disagree with Blade's tier lists. They might be 100% perfect for Tiberium League. I'm not disagreeing with them on the grounds of Tiberium League. I'm disagreeing with them as a catch-all term. I have never claimed to be an authority in C&C Rivals. I would never claim to being an authority on C&C Rivals. I understand the game. I've worked very hard analysing the game and spent a lot of time in there doing stuff. But I've never said that I'm a top tier player. You put me in a tournament with any of these guys, I'm going to fall apart. Flat down, hands down. To people who say, oh yeah, you need to fact check your videos. I do extensive testing on every single unit and everything I've done there. I talk with members of the community, the ones that I can actually stomach to talk to. I talk with people and I get their opinions and I get their feedback. And you know what? Sometimes things can be disagreed upon. People picked apart the fact that in my Razorback video I said that Razorbacks are fragile. They are. They die in 2 bike squad volleys and then with 1 single missile shot after. So if you've got slightly over-leveled bikes, 2 volleys will do it. It's a 60 cost unit. It's a 60 cost unit that dies in just about 2 bike volleys. A hammerhead, a Mohawk is not as squishy as that. There are for an air unit, the Razorback is fairly squishy for a 60 cost air unit. It's only just less squishy than a Talon. But people sit there and go, oh, you said it's squishy, and then you show footage of it surviving an attack, a bike squad volley. Yeah, it's still a squishy unit. It still dies ludicrously quickly to things like a slingshot or a hammerhead or a phantom, that kind of thing. That's my point. I've tried to make content as best as I can, but it gets picked apart by certain members of the community, and that's been difficult to deal with, knowing that every time I spend hours, and I do mean hours, editing. Remember, everything I do is done purely off this phone. I spend hours and hours and hours gathering footage, trawling through like C&C TV, speaking with people in my community, speaking with people in other C&C Rivals communities to get footage for particular units and specific interactions on camera. I trawl through that, I write a script, I do run it by a couple of people first, and like, you know, what do you think of this? I get other opinions in on that just to check that, you know, everything seems fair and good. I then spend hours editing this video together into what you see. I put it up online, and I make, for people who are sitting there, oh yeah, but you only do it for the money, I make $2-3 maybe on ad revenue. This has never been about the money. This has always been about helping that community go from a couple of top tier players. I'm trying to get those middle and lower and push them into the top tier. That's all I've ever done. If you're a top tier player and you want to tell me that, oh, this doesn't match your narrative, that's fine. My content isn't for you. It has never been for you. I've never tried to claim that I'm here to teach you how to be the best player. I'm here to get you toward the top. I'm here to push you forward. That's all. Now, it's tough. It's tough spending all that time putting together a video just to have certain elements of the community rip apart literally everything in it. When I said in my Diablo Immortal video that I love it when guys come and just tell me that I'm absolutely wrong about absolutely everything, that's a reference to the C&C Rivals community and what I go through here. Go through the back history of any of my videos, you'll find people complaining. Go onto the Discord. I popped my head into the Discord yesterday just to say I'd put this video online. Immediately, waves of response. I had numerous people in my community suddenly going, holy crap, we see why you don't go into the Discord anymore. I see what you mean when you say that, like, most of this community seems to hate you. And it's fine, they're allowed to hate me. The point is, what happened yesterday was the final straw. Now, I keep using the phrase that yesterday's events were just the final nail in a coffin that I've been reluctant to shut for entirely too long. I've been sitting at about, I would say, 90 to 95% ready to make this video and leave the C&C Rivals community. I've been sitting at that point for a long time because I'm tired of everything being received negatively and everything I say being, oh yeah, well you're wrong about everything, so why should we listen to you, or, you know, any of this crap. It's tough. And I know as a content creator I'm supposed to be thick-skinned and be able to deal with that. I'm still human. I'm still a person the other end of this, and some of the comments I've received are disgusting. I've had bloody death threats. I have had numerous death threats regarding the content I make. Just let that settle in a moment. One of those guys didn't just stop at making death threats to me. He actually found my wife's Instagram, of all things. God knows how he did it, but he found my wife's Instagram, of all things, and sent her death threats as well. Because I make content for a mobile game. Yeah, that's not easy to deal with. But I pushed through because, you know what, the community's worth it, this game's worth it, I love this game and I want to keep going. Yesterday, I got a notification from a member of my community, and I'm going to say all of this anonymously, you all know who you are, but I kind of don't want the drama to be any worse than it already is. I got a message from a member of my community saying, there's a certain someone who is doing a reaction stream to your video. And so I went, okay, cool. Could be interesting. So I zoomed over to this person's Twitch channel, and it's a follower-only chat, so I hit follow, and it's now a 10-minute timer before I can make any comments, and in those 10 minutes, every point I make in that video is viciously ripped apart, and I've got no problem with someone disagreeing with what I say. This person claims that they made no personal attacks at all. The reason I've been banned from the Rivals subreddit for the next 7 days is because I dared to repeat with censorship what this person said about me. Now, if that gets me banned from the Rivals subreddit, it's gotta be somewhat offensive, you know? So when I'm sitting there listening, who asked this Bronze League joker? Who gives up about this opinion? oh, look at this channel, you don't, like, none of your content's getting any views, it's a failing channel, you only got the views on Rivals you got because you were sucking EA's. Those aren't personal attacks, apparently. And as if that's not bad enough, I've got a chat filled with goodness knows how many people laughing and joking and joining in. To the point that, yeah, when that 10-minute timer ended, yeah, I was upset. I did say some things I probably shouldn't have done. I got personal and I attacked this person's voice. And I should have taken the high road. I get that, but I'm human. And you know what? As I mentioned in my Quake 3 Arena video, through secondary school, I was badly bullied. And that stuff stays with you, like, to the point that I had to start locking myself into a computer lab with my friends to play Quake 3 Arena. It got that bad and that dangerous. I've not felt the way I felt back in those days in, 15 years? Heading onto Twitch and seeing this last night brought all of that flooding back, and yeah, I can't do that. I can't have a community that just openly wants to be that toxic and vile that you've got a streamer using their platform not to have a polite discussion and give feedback, which is what I'd gone there hoping to get. Like, yeah, okay, let's see what this person has to say about my video. Let's get their live feedback on each. A blow-by-blow dissection would have been cool. A blow-by-blow slaughter, it felt like. It was like being tied down and just punched. It was like being tied to the floor and just punched in the gut repeatedly. And then to have other people in the chat joining in and laughing, and I think someone actually decided to make a donation to the stream in my name. Yeah. And then people get surprised that I got a little bit upset and said some things that I shouldn't have said. I'm done. No matter how supportive this community has been in the past, no matter how much you guys have supported my channel and helped me grow to the point I'm now at, it's not worth it anymore. I was at 90 to 95% ready to jump ship. Last night's events pushed me up to like 130%. That one whack was worse than months of abuse that I've taken from this community on this game. I've only ever tried to help. I've tried to be as non-toxic and as friendly as I can, be as positive about the game and as progressive as I can, that, okay, I disagree with this, but let's have a look at it from a different angle. Can I see why it's this way? Maybe I don't like this addition, but I can see that it might benefit other people. Key point, Scarabs change. Scarabs being pushed to 40. I didn't like that change because Scarabs are already useless. If you're down in the lower tiers, yeah, people were complaining about Scarabs. They were having difficulties with them. Push them up to 40 cost. It's a quick fix. I see why. But I can't have that. And so I put up a response on the Rivals subreddit saying, I'm leaving the community. I've removed myself from all the Rivals discords. I've alerted the developers that, of course, I'm still bound by my NDA. There was a meeting this morning where one of the developers was talking about a load of stuff. We were introduced to a new one of the devs. I can't say anything about it because of NDA. I'm not going to say anything about it because I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. The few of you who are still great and supportive and positive in this community are vastly outweighed by the disgusting, toxic, vitriolic quagmire that is the rest of this community. And I'm done with that. I'm really done with that. I can't be dealing with that anymore. I put up that response as a way of saying goodbye, and the immediate responses were things like, have you fact-checked this? I'm sitting here trying to plead with the community and say, this community is becoming dangerously toxic. The community responds by doubling down on that. I'm done. For those of you who have been supportive, thank you so much for all of your support over the years. Everything has been incredible. My channel has reached a point I never thought it would reach. And I owe a lot of that to the C&C Rivals community. Thank you for all your support over the years. Thank you for everything you've said and done to improve me and uplift me and help me make my content better. But there's too much on the other side now. That positive community is now so outweighed by the rest of it. For my own good, I need to back out of this now. I'm still going to be playing the game. You just won't find me in any of the Discords. As I've been banned from the Rivals subreddit, you won't see me there either. So, fingers crossed, I'll see you in game. Thank you so much for listening to me rant on for 20 odd minutes about this situation, and thank you for caring enough to listen. I know I'm going to get comments down below about how I'm being a drama queen, or how pathetic this all is, or how I'm stirring up additional drama in all of this. I just wanted to give a message explaining why things are the way they are. You'll notice there are no adverts at all on this video because that's not what this is about. I just wanted my voice to be heard and explain why there won't be any further content for C&C Rivals. And I hope this community can pick itself up. There's some cool stuff coming, some really exciting stuff that I'll be looking forward to seeing. Just don't expect any content covering it. Happy sailing, and I'll see you on the battlefield.